show on television inside Nigeria. It's really incredible. And as you can see, I'm just alone in the studio, and I'm just will not be doing much today. We're just going to be reviewing the leading stories of each newspaper on our menu, and of course, editorial as well. My guest, my Friday guest, is unavoidably absent this morning. My name is Only Fred Bobo, and it's a pleasure to host you on today's program. Without much ado, we are starting off with Nigeria's most influential newspaper, Leadership Friday, Nigeria's only leadership Friday newspaper. Let's see what Leadership Friday is saying. Leadership Friday, no litigation can stop Tinubu's inauguration, federal government declares. No litigation can stop Tinubu's inauguration, federal government declares. CSO's finger foreign bodies in plot to stop president-elect. Tinubu Shetima to get GCFRO GCON honors. I'll take that again. No litigation can stop Tinubu's inauguration, federal government declares. CISO's finger foreign bodies in plot to stop president-elect. Tinubu Shetima to get GCFRO GCON honors. And above that, we have 10 days to go. Tribunal rules today on articles motion for live coverage. 10 days to go. Tribunal rules today on articles motion for live coverage. We have briefing. Trending. US government condemns killing of staff in Anambra. Numbers. AFDB approves $15 million for Nigeria's infrastructure financing. Of course, we also have history today on page 2 of Leadership Friday. And I just beneath and beside the picture story, we have labor crisis. Abure Apapa return to trenches. Court extends Shehu Kuti's stay in police custody by 4 days. Despite meeting with Tinubu, Kano APC won't accept Kwankwaso. Despite meeting with Tinubu, Kano APC won't accept Kwankwaso. Matawale will be arrested for 70 billion naira fraud, says EFCC. And of course, we move to our stand, page 3 of Leadership Friday. It is the editorial of the paper. Insecurity, that December 31 deadline. Insecurity, that December 31 deadline. And of course, the editorial, the presidential deadline that was given last year by President Muhammadu Buhari, that insurgency, through the service chief, that insurgency will end, that they will tackle insurgency by December 31st, and that insurgency will be a thing of the past in Nigeria. Of course, the editorial today on Leadership Friday is a reminder to that declaration. And we move over to the back page of Leadership Friday and this conversation with Azu, the editor-in-chief of Leadership Media Group. Azu is here when he said, what should Tinubu do about the assembly? What should Tinubu do about the assembly? And of course, just before we leave leadership, we have Ghana must go. Only reveals latest wife news, number 24. Ghana must go ask number 24. Don't know about that, you just have to find out. So that's all we can take on Leadership Friday. Today, Friday, May 19th, 2023. And you just have to log on to the website for more stories and inside the stories as well. www.leadership.ng. That is Leadership Friday. From Leadership Friday, we move over to the next paper that also has similar story with leadership, and that is Daily Sun. Daily Sun says May 29, no court can stop Tinubu's inauguration, federal government. May 29, no court can stop Tinubu's inauguration, federal government. NSA warns unauthorized persons to stay away from Eagle Square. Buhari to convert Tinubu Shetima with GCFR GCON. May 29, no court can stop Tinubu's inauguration, federal government. NSA warns unauthorized persons to stay away from Eagle Square. Buhari to convert Tinubu Shetima with GCFR GCON. That's the leading story on Daily Sun. We have another story there. Tribunal reserves ruling on article Tinubu live broadcast request. Tribunal reserves ruling on Atiku Tinubu live broadcast request. Why we oppose it? INEC Tinubu. And of course, just on the right hand side, we have other stories. Anambra attacks, police arrest two, race criminal camp in Ogbaru community. Anambra attacks, police arrest two, race criminal camp in Ogbaru community. Zamfara governor facing 70 billion naira fraud investigation, EFCC. 150 CSOs demand removal of agencies boss. Buhari to diplomats, always respect cultures, traditional institutions. Buhari to diplomats, always respect cultures, traditional institutions. New moon, Sultan directs Muslims to look for crescent of Dhul Qadar. New moon, Sultan directs Muslims to look for crescent of Dhul Qadar. Mba, Enugu governor-elect slams 20 billion naira lawsuit on NYSC. Despite postponement, NPC spends 200 billion naira on national census. Interesting. Despite postponement, NPC spends 200 billion naira on national census. Akpabio hails Aisha Buhari over inauguration of AFLPM building. Elder statesman Aye Ude, 82 dead. Court remands Sheu Kuti for additional 4 days. Before we leave Daily Sun newspaper this Friday, let's see what the editorial is saying. We move over to the editorial page of Daily Sun, and the editorial is on Senate stop the discriminatory religious bill. Senate stop the discriminatory religious bill. Senate stop the discriminatory religious bill. The editorial is saying that the bill is seeking to create a national center for Christian education to regulate and set standards for the practice of Christianity in Nigeria, which has passed the second reading in the Senate, is a time for more on the editorial. Just log on to the Sun Daily Sun website, www.sunnewsonline.com. www.sunnewsonline.com. That is all we are taking on the Sun newspaper. And of course, we are moving to another paper with the same headline today, and that is the Punch newspaper. The Punch this Friday, May 19, 2023 says Tinubu's inauguration programs begin Thursday. Federal government invites over 65 world leaders. Tinubu's inauguration programs begin Thursday. Federal government invites over 65 world leaders. Stay away from inauguration venue if you don't have business there, SGF. Buhari hands over transition documents to incoming president Friday. To incoming president Thursday, sorry. Tinubu's inauguration, I take that again. Programs begin Thursday. Federal government invites over 65 world leaders. Stay away from inauguration venue if you don't have business there, ISDF. Buhari hands over transition documents to incoming president Thursday. NYSC at 50, that is a historic just below the picture, the cover picture on the Punch. NYSC at 50, Buhari grants 65 corpers automatic employment scholarships. NYSC at 50, Buhari grants 65 corpers automatic employment scholarships. Matawale diverted 70 billion naira with 100 firms, EFCC alleges. Talks in Benue Assembly, lawmakers oppose autumn's pension bill. Don't bring Kwakwaso into APC, Buhari's ally, wants Tinubu. Above the masthead of Punch, we have federal allocation drops again as federal government states share 655 billion naira. Live broadcast led to tribunal judges' lives. Tinubu's lawyer. NNPCL begins crude supply to Dangote refinery next week. NNPCL begins crude supply to Dangote refinery next week. Still on Punch newspaper, we just move over to their editorial page. And their editorial today, Friday, May 19th, says Ninth National Assembly, an indolent weak rubber stamp. Mm, that is that is quite slamming. Ninth National Assembly, an indolent weak rubber stamp in quote. For more on the stories on today's Punch and the editorial, just log on to the website of the Punch newspaper www.punchng.com. From the Punch newspaper, we see what the Nation newspaper is leading with. The Nation says National Assembly governors will back Akpabio, Abbas says Sule. National Assembly governors will back Akpabio, Abbas says Sule. Nasarawa headsman assures APC's preferred aspirants of non-governors support. National Assembly governors will back Akpabio, Abbas says Nasarawa State Governor Sule. Nasarawa Hedsman assures APC's preferred aspirants of non-governors support. We cannot in any way fight the choice of Bola Ahmed Tinubu. We cannot in any way fight the choice of our party. In quote, the statement credited to the Nasarawa State Governor Sule. We have a picture of Buhari and with NYC officials, including the Attorney General and the Women Affairs, on the cover of the Nation and the Punch this morning. We also have stories about that, about the picture story. Tinubu greets NSA Ali Guso at 80. JAMB remits 55 billion naira in 6 years. Matawale under probe for 70 billion naira contract, says EFCC. Ex-power minister still in custody. Step down for probe coalition test power. Transition Council Rosa Tinubu Shetima inauguration program. President-elect, Vice President-elect to get GCFRO GCON awards May 25th. Many foreign heads of state expected. Kenyatta to deliver lectures. Steer clear of Eagle Square. NSA warns troublemakers. Above the masthead of the Nation, we have spent 200 billion naira on postponed sensors, says NPC. NNPC pays 3.8 billion naira JV cash call to raise production. Autumn name street after 1990 coup plotter Oka. For remarks Ejigbaderu over land grabbing perjury allegations. On the Nation newspaper, we just move over to their editorial page to see what their stand is on this Friday. The editorial says electrifying chase. Nigerians await Guinness World Records review as Hida Bashi sets new record in marathon cooking. Electrifying chase. Nigerians await Guinness World Records review as Hida Bashi sets new record in marathon cooking. And of course, the second editorial has stop it. We disagree with court judgment barring NBC from imposing fines on broadcast stations. Bet. Find out what the bet is all about on the Nation's editorial. Even as you log on to their website, www.thenationonlineng.net. That is all we are taking on the Nation. From the Nation, we move over to Blueprint newspaper. Blueprint has Matawale under probe for 70 billion naira fraud, EFCC. Matawale under probe for 70 billion naira fraud, EFCC. Loans diverted through phantom contracts, 400 million naira traced to BDC. Zamfara government month. Matawale under probe for 70 billion naira fraud, EFCC. Loans diverted through phantom contracts, 400 million naira traced to BDC and Zamfara government month. It's interesting that the same Matawale has been conversing that for the EFCC to probe outgoing Buhari ministers, and at the end of the day, it's him that is alleged to have diverted so much money, about 70 billion naira fraud. Well, above the story, we have Sultan raises the alarm over post-election killings. Sultan raises the alarm over post-election killings. See, can SGF Okino tax media on peace, good governance. Nigerian Customs intercepts 1.8 billion naira tramadol at Lagos Airport. Nigerian Customs intercepts 1.8 billion naira tramadol at Lagos Airport. NEF won't back selfish NAS leadership aspirants. Baba Ahmed. NYSC, a far-reaching decision of my government. Go on. Troops neutralize 26 terrorists, arrest 25 logistics suppliers. APC stops state chapters from expelling members because go jail. That's the story on Blueprint newspaper this morning. And just before we go, like in other papers, let's see the editorial on Blueprint newspaper today, and it's on the new security initiative. The new security initiative. That's the editorial of Blueprint newspaper today. For more on the stories, just log on to the website www.blueprint.ng. From Blueprint, we move over to this day. Let's see what this day is saying this Friday, May 19th, 2023. And this day says, Buhari, Jonathan conceding defeat in 2015, unprecedented on Nigerian. Buhari, Jonathan conceding defeat in 2015, unprecedented on Nigerian. To bestow Tinubu with GCFRO title May 25th. All diplomats to always respect nation's traditional institutions, cultures. Ex-president preaches integrity, good governance. Nothing can stop transition of power on May 29, says SGF. Court to decide whether to stop inauguration May 24th. Above that, of course, let me just see briefly the leading story once again on this day. Buhari, Jonathan conceding defeat in 2015, unprecedented on Nigerian. To bestow Tinubu with GCFRO title May 25th. All diplomats to always respect nation's traditional institutions, cultures. Ex-president preaches integrity, good governance. Nothing can stop transition of power on May 29, says SGF. Court to decide whether to stop inauguration May 24. From that, on that top of that leading story, we have another story on this day. EFCC probes Zamfara Governor Matawale over alleged 70 billion naira fraud. Says one contractor collected 6 billion naira on 10 billion naira contract without rendering any service. Another collected over 3 billion naira for medical equipment supply contract. Commission trace payment of 400 million naira from governor's account to BDC operator. Above that, we have court reserves ruling in Atiku's motion for live broadcast of proceedings. And above the masthead it's going up, by the way. FAC disburses 655.9 billion naira April revenue to federal government, states, and local governments. Wabote 6 double-digit oil contribution to GDP. NNPC to supply 300,000 barrels per day to Dangote refinery. We have paid IOC's cash for debts, says Unity. That is all the stories on this day today. And just before we go, we have 2 arrested in connection with attack on U.S. Embassy officials in Anambra. 2 arrested in connection with attack on U.S. Embassy officials in Anambra. And once again, we move over to the editorial page of THISDAY newspaper to see their editorial stand today. And they are editorial is on what manner of a national career. But the question, what manner of a national career? It is an inconceived and wasteful venture. You find out more on this day as you log on to their website today, www.thisdaylive.com. From this day, we move over to the next one, as you can see on the table, that is Vanguard. Vanguard patients groan as doctors strike enters day two. Patients groan as doctors strike enters day two. Exodus hits government hospitals as private hospitals record brisk businesses. Above the masthead, we have post congestion looms over suspension of banks import duty collection. US convoy attacks, police arrest two suspects. Government kidnap cult members returning from camp in Rivers. NNPCL clears $3.8 billion JV cash for indebtedness. Media play crucial role to avert crisis wars, Sultan Khan, SDF. Of course, we still have the same picture that is raising most covers, most papers today, the picture of President Muhammadu Buhari with the with the staff of the NYSC, including the Director General, the Minister of Women Affairs, Minister of Sports, Youth and Sports, Sunday Darin, on the Vanguard, the Punch, the Nation, and even the leadership. 10th NANS inauguration, opposition parties worry over bid to alter rules. 10th National Assembly inauguration, opposition parties worry over bid to alter rules to allow President APC chair witness reps voting pattern. Opposition parties join forces with Abbas. Why I chose Abbas over veteran Gandhi, other speakership aspirants, Baja. Regrets installing Tabuwa as speaker in 2015. Rebellion against APC will not stand, Abbas. And we have Sheun Kuti, court extends detention by 4 days. Bawa must quit now, CSOs tell federal government. Montgomery appointed new British High Commissioner to Nigeria. And of course, we have columnists on Vanguard today that are worth reading. So, as we've done earlier on, we are moving over to the editorial page of Vanguard newspaper to see what the editorial for today. The editorial page has Sheun Kuti and the police. Sheun Kuti and the police. Sheun Kuti and the police. That is the editorial for on Vanguard newspaper today. For more stories on Vanguard and inside pages, just log on to the website www.vanguardngr.com. On the Vanguard, we have the last paper on our menu for review, and that is The Guardian. The Guardian says ministers, after 8 years and 15.9 billion naira on Nigeria Air, ministers call self 100% on failed carrier, MRO airport concessions. After 8 years and 15.9 billion naira on Nigeria Air, ministers call self 100% on failed carrier, MRO airport concessions. That is a big story on the Guardian newspaper. Presidential election petition court, INEC, Tinubu, APC kick against Atiku's request for live telecast of proceedings. PTC unveils transaction activities, warns unauthorized persons to stay away from Eagle Square. Cash crunch hit cuts telecoms growth as operators lose 1.02 million subscribers. Nigeria hopeful of $32.5 billion oil projects as NNPC eyes 1.8 million barrel per day in July. Failed Ijora Bridge, residents blame shoddy job, lack of supervision. CSOs demand Bawa's exit over corruption allegations by Matawale. We are moving to the editorial page of The Guardian. The Guardian's editorial today is Peter Pan is on Peter Pan in Nauru, 1935 to 2023. Peter Pan in Nauru, 1935 to 2023. That's all for we can take on the Guardian newspaper today, Friday, May 19, 2023. And of course, that is also bringing us to the end of today's newspaper review. My name is Winifred Ukwebo. Until I come your way again, same time, same station, next week Monday. Here's wishing you a beautiful weekend. Don't forget, security is a collective responsibility. You have to keep yourself safe. See you then. Bye.
Thank you for watching. For sponsorship and advert placements, please contact 080